GSL. My conscience is failing me.
Welcome back. We're going to go into Game 4 now for day one of the semifinals. It's started to even out. Deer is now winning the first game that he's won today.
Starting to even out. I mean, that's one way to put it. The other way is ByuL is 33% ahead.
Wow, 0.3 repeating.
I mean, that's a lot. Even though one game could bring us back to even.
And this next game is going to be on Expedition Lost. Yes. I got to say, I think ByuL is playing better. Game 3 was a little bit weird, just the nature of it.
Yeah. Like the choice to go into mutas, Deer was just too on top of it. Like, he was just safe the entire time. There was never a point that it looked like ByuL could do anything to Deer that game. And that was because, again, as I thought, like, Coda should be more normal strategies coming up. So I wonder what Expedition Lost will look like, because this map can get a little bit crazy. We've seen things, for instance, like Zerg's trying to take double gold and whatnot. ByuL is a Zerg that definitely has excelled at gold-based builds before, but this map, no. I don't think any Zerg is going to do that. I'm not sure what we're going to see here, to be honest, because those back rocks make it kind of funny.
Oh, hello. We're back. That was really fast.
when we come back on camera, they see me. I crawl out of a box real quick. Like, I'm like, oh god, they saw me in my casting box.
I can't cast unless I'm inside
I have to be
my
in a box, guys. I'm so sorry.
That's the secret.
It's something weird from my childhood. I don't want to talk about it. I gotta be in a box to cast.
All right, Game 4 is almost ready. Deer needs to hunker down. He needs to get this to, where we're at 50-50. ByuL wants so badly to win this. He's got a lot of room for creativity. If he gets up 3-1, you can do a lot of different strats, a lot of different builds, and odds are one's going to work. One's going to land and hit him on the head.
That's a great way to put it.
I am a poet.
One is going to fall like an anvil in a what?
Yeah. Leave it to me, Artosis. You got nothing.
Hit him on the head, right? So, what was it? Oh, yeah, Wile E. Coyote, that's it.
Yeah, from the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Acme. He always ordered his stuff from Acme.
They're a great company.
They're great.
Owned by Umbrella Corp once again.
Disney once again.
Actually, Warner Brothers, right, is different. So that was like the stuff that went against Disney.
Are they owned by Time Warner Cable?
I would imagine it's all the same thing.
Probably.
Warner is not that great of a name. That's so many companies.
They're just brothers, right? That's nothing compared to a huge conglomerate. Let's see what happens in this game. Is ByuL going to be a little bit crazy? He's done some aggressive builds here. Is Deer going to go for this one Phoenix build again and another variant of that?
I don't think so here. I really don't think so here. No, I think here, like, it's more likely for him to maybe go more ground heavy.
Is he eating something? Is he eating foil?
He's eating chocolate.
Is that his secret? He's eating foil.
He's eating chocolate.
Nerds everywhere are going to die from eating foil later on tonight, Artosis.
Oh, man. As long as they don't put it in the microwave first.
Yeah.
If you want to warm up your foil, do it another way. But yeah, some people do things like bring a candy bar to an event and like eat it at designated times to give little sugar boost in their system.
Yep, it's a real thing, guys.
It is. It is a real thing.
Now this is a one-on-one map, so there's a little bit of craziness that could happen here from the Protoss especially. Let's see what we got in store for us here as the game is now loaded up. It's ready. This will be game number 4, Deer against ByuL on Expedition Lost.
HOT6 GSL 시즌 3.
In the bottom left, in the red, he is
삼성 갤럭시 디어.
in the upper right, in the blue.
CJ 엔투스 결.
All right.
Got the whole family here. Yep.
Family day at the GSL.
What better way to spend time with your family?
I left my family at home.
Welcome to the studio. Thanks for coming down.
Oh my God, it's Batman!
What do we have here? Is this going to be a forge? No, it's a gate. For it.
Jesus is like, oh, that's not fun.
That's no fun for me.
I only like the cannon rush.
I only like the cannon rush. I don't know what late game is.
All right, well, anyways, just going to go up and scout. I mean, this is just like a kind of safe build for Deer to do with this gateway. If there was a Zergling Rush coming, he would be able to hold it. And obviously can take quite a quick Nexus as well. We'll go ahead and fake that cannon rush, see if ByuL reacts strongly to this.
See if he freaks out here.
4 drones. It's about right to deal with this correctly.
Yep,
so,
the bare minimum, basically.
Yeah.
You want to handle a rush and nip it in the butt. Oh, you got punked. It's not a cannon rush.
And that's where, you know, you've been fooled a little bit. But, you know, a little bit later on that Nexus than this hatchery, so ByuL should be feeling fine. Now we just kind of wait and see what type of strats these guys want to go for, and if it's going to be anything a little bit cheesy. You know, that third base that you normally end up taking on this map, there's 3 entrances to it, one of which you generally aren't going to use. But the real problem is that, like, the little low ground area in between your natural ramp and the ramp going up to your third. Because, like, first off, the third can be flanked, so you really kind of want to have units up there on top of the ramps, but if you do, then it's hard to spread your units correctly if you take a quick third on this map. So, we'll see how these guys go about dancing around that. So,
Deer has had a lot of really original builds here today. It's very exciting. And he's really showing us what this guy has to offer in this matchup. I mean, he's showing us that you can really, really play completely differently from a lot of the Protosses out there. I guess that's kind of a Protoss thing always. Each time you see a good Protoss player, they always play a little bit differently from the other Protoss players. It's not like they're all interchangeable. But this is especially cool. The last 2 builds we saw there, the Phoenix first, I mean, I'm wondering if he's going to just go straight up standard here or do anything else wild or crazy.
I don't like the Phoenix first build here.
Well,
like,
I don't think on this map specifically it's good.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can always go Oracle on any map, basically, but, like, I really wouldn't mind him just staying, like, ground units. You know, just, like, skipping that just to have more of an army to have a better chance of holding on to everything if he wants to, you know, go for... Well, I mean, that's not what he's going for. I was going to say go for a quick third, but it looks like he probably wants to do an Immortal push here. It's the most likely scenario of this quick
especially
robo.
with a robo in that position there, too.
Yeah.
Reinforce very quickly from there. For the meanwhile, we do see that Zerg was just droning up a ton.
It's kind of funny to me that he's putting that there. Yeah, he cancels. Okay, this was a lack of, like, this just, I guess, didn't come up in his practice that an Overlord can sit back there and a Stalker can't reach it.
What's weird is that, yeah, he made it and canceled it, but I guess he's going to just stick with this build.
Yeah, because as soon as that Stalker goes away, that Overlord would fly in and see that. So
exactly,
like that was.
What's funny is the Overlord saw it even in the corner too.
Yeah.
So it's like Zerg really knows.
Yeah, and this is also a place where you can kind of look at and see that this map just isn't played as much as the other maps because it's one of those ones that gets vetoed a lot.
Also, keep in mind that actually there's a small chance ByuL's screen wasn't over that area.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think he saw the Twilight with the... It's just the fact that he would see it instantly if you brought the Overlord back.
Yeah.
So that he moved it. And it is looking like, yeah, Dark Templars once again here. All right, well, quick Spire. And you know, with this quick Spire, I don't know if he's actually going to have any spores ready, truthfully.
Yeah, let's see what he's got in store for us here. Now, I believe there's 3 gates total that are out right now. Looks like the Overseer didn't scout the tech just yet. He's definitely going to go up here. And actually, you know what? I thought he was actually going to go in the main, but I guess he's not going to do that.
So this is what we call the 1 sentry drop. If your opponent went AFK, it will eventually kill the hatchery.
What is this build? This is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure what I'm seeing here.
I think that the basis of something like this is to keep your opponent busy, not to do damage. Just kind of scare them a little bit.
Do you fly into the main now and then drop
Yeah.
this here and then start warping in sentries and DTs? Is that?
Well, I think you.
Is that the
You're kind of like
the idea behind it?
I would say you're trying to like draw his attention somewhere. It's kind of like we see 4-gate into DT a lot because you're putting on so much pressure that they actually just don't build spores. They don't have time to think about what might be coming. So look at this.
Might just work.
Oh yeah, and that is gone.
Yeah.
Without a transfusion, this actually kills it before that. Unless you can drone drill a little bit. Oh, he does come down with some transfusions. But this it still doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it.
Oh! Last second.
Yep. But yeah, it's actually 3 DTs. If they don't have an Overseer started, will get the hatchery without transfusions.
Pretty much
basically.
every single time.
Yeah, the only way to
time.
stop it is drone drills. And he came at it from an angle where drone drills would be like intensely hard to hit the right area to do
Right.
that. That angle was like almost perfect. There's like no minerals I can think of where you could send all your drones to gas or something then towards the minerals.
Well, that looks kind of funny.
Yeah, this is actually pretty nice, dealing a little bit of damage, but
Took that sentry out there too.
well, looks like more gateways on the way, and he does have 2 immortals, which are not really going to be all that useful. He's going to have to focus mostly on Blink Stalkers, but will he be able to actually go across the map and kill his opponent? Because these mutas are going to be non-stop harassing him. He doesn't have a Stargate to try to hold them off in an effective way.
And now the drone's been picked up there by the DT. Kind of cute builds here from Deer. Interesting to see. He's still kind of mixing it up, right? We don't really have many normal games coming out of this guy so far. I'm really curious to see what he would have done in game 1 had he not been 6-pulled or 7-pulled.
Yeah, definitely do have to agree with you on that. Well,
Blink almost done here. These mutas got to be very careful. We're like 5 seconds away from that finishing.
yes, indeed. Well, does Deer just go into a timing attack here? I think that's what we're going to see.
Probably.
Just like move out with all his units and say, okay, in a straight-up fight I win.
Well, that's usually how these builds work, right? If you do a
Yeah.
decent amount of damage and you cripple the Zerg early on, then you want to follow this up with a, something that's going to be this killing blow. It's usually like a 2-part strat.
Yeah, most of the time you have like a third base when the mutas come, but this has been kind of a funny game, so that's why it becomes a little bit more interesting as to what the thought process will be. Because without the 3 bases, he can't really afford to do much of anything here.
Well, Protoss should be actually gearing up for that attack right about now. I mean, Blink's ready. He's got the Immortals. The Zerg can only really counterattack here. Looks like he's going to do that now, actually.
All right, well, here we go. We actually have a DT in here as well to help deal with those Zerglings. That's actually kind of cool, but he doesn't have any sentries to actually put any force fields down against these Lings, and with the Lings getting on top of these Stalkers, the mutas are going to do some real work here.
This is fantastic. I think he's going to use some of those probes to defend here. There we go. Warping in some more Stalkers, so he will be able to hold this now.
He's actually engaging over those cannons right now, which definitely can be
that's
pretty
a problem
dangerous.
right there.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Protoss coming up here with these Stalkers, hitting hard right now. Queen's transfusing rapidly to try to just save these Spine Crawlers. Lings coming down here now. Protoss might be in a little bit of trouble himself.
This kind of a really weird game that we're watching here right now, but like losing this group of Stalkers out on the map, I guess if there were no spines there, that could have gone very, very well for him, but as of this moment, this is looking really rough. All right, finally does group up with all of his Stalkers, pushing forward here once again.
Stalkers and Zealots now coming up here. Let's see if he can go to work on this 3rd base. It really depends on the positioning for the Stalkers and the Zealots when you're up against Ling Muta. And of course, how well you can blink away.
Now we do have these DTs in here. He does have some Overseers, so it looks like they will mostly go down. Just 1 left over, and that will be taken out as well in a second here.
He should have some more Warpins coming up.
Now we really need some more Lings mixed in. It's mostly just mutas at this point, but the drone's being pulled. If he can kill off all these Stalkers, he's still all right.
Still is Immortal up here fighting the Queens. More Stalkers come up. I think he's a blink right under that. Boom, like that.
Nice blink forward right there. Only 10 Stalkers right now, but there's 16 mutas. I think that this is going to go to ByuL. Like, with all these Lings popping out, the thing is he doesn't have that 3rd base, so this is like, this has become intensely all in. Like, he could
Yeah,
have taken
and
a third against anything but Mutas here, basically.
Plus, if you hold off this attack and Deer's kind of stuck committing to this attack, you can usually always deny the third base from the Protoss after that.
Yes.
There's just
yes.
you've lost so much of the Protoss' army.
Without a Stargate, like 2-base Protoss can't go to 3-base against Muta. It's like impossibly hard.
Yeah.
You can't spread enough units to defend everything. You know, like with the build Deer did, that early DT rush kill in the hatch, like if this was Roach or Hydra or anything, he could have easily gone into a third base.
This Archon is the right play.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do.
That's smart. Quite smart. And don't forget, less gas to make Archons out of DTs.
That's true. So let's see if the Archon's in the right spot. He gets his army up. See, he's moving the Zealots up here to the front. He's got to execute this attack perfectly. It really all comes down to this big attack.
Even if he executes perfectly, do you think this can actually do it? I'm not so sure. Like
I think so, actually. I might be wrong.
Let's see. He's got to get some great hits with these Archons. And
there's one Archon in the back here, which is
that
unfortunate.
first Archon actually only hitting Lings there until the very end.
No.
Mutas split plenty, and that is going to be that.
That's going to do it.
Yeah.
More Mutas than there are Stalkers. That's a good way to tell.
You know, the Spire was a super good call by ByuL here. It cost him last time against the Stargate, but this game, that was like the game-winning thing. If he had any other tech aside from Spire, like if he had decided this game, like, okay, I'm going to go Roach, he would have lost a hatchery and Deer would have been able to transition to whatever. But, you know, really works out for ByuL here.
Well, Deer's in a lot of trouble. I'm really wondering what Stork is going to say when Stork goes into the booth because, I mean, for the way that Deer's been playing, which has been a little bit risky, it's a little bit dicey. I can't imagine if he keeps playing like this, he would win 3 games in a row from here. If it was Rain or somebody who just kind of goes down the middle always, is always safe, I'd say maybe he could. But the way Deer's doing this, it's all tailored builds, timing attacks, wonky tech choices, really like out there. Not even like vintage builds, just like, oh, nobody does this. We haven't cast this before.
Which is actually making me kind of really like the series, even though it's not working out for a Protoss player. But, you know, you have to pull some special stuff against ByuL. This guy is really the best Zerg in the world right now.
Yeah, he is.
And, you know, Deer is a very good Protoss, but like you were saying at the beginning, you just felt like ByuL is a better player. I think most everyone feels that, including Deer. Like,
well, it seems like it based off the builds Deer's using. I feel like if these guys had to play 100 games, like mandatory 100 games against each other, we'd see that ByuL had a disproportionate win record. But with the way that Deer's playing, he can throw out a few of these builds that he can't ever use again against ByuL.
Sure.
And maybe, you know, pull a fast one and take a few games off of ByuL. But ByuL already seems to have entered into this completely ready for the weird, the crazy that's coming out of Deer. He's shutting it down fast.
Yeah. Now he's up 3-1. This is match point for ByuL for the rest of the match. Here's the thing. This is still actually doable. I do want to mention, okay? Because we have Echo coming up next, doable. Vonnie after that, very doable. And then Terraform, which is also doable. So, like Deer he still has shots here. Absolutely.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed. I'd love to go to Game 7. This may be one of our shortest days yet this year in GSL. We've only been casting for about an hour and a half. That includes the commercial.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
I mean, it could just end up being one of the shortest series we've ever had.
But you know what? Maybe Deer goes back in a more normal play here.
We were talking
about that.
So.
Coda was a more normal map. Echo, I guess, is a more normal map as well. And he won the more normal game. It's these weird games that he's having a harder time with. Whether those be
wondering if ByuL will do anything like a 7-pull again or a 6-pull again, because he has the room to do that right now.
He does. Do you do it on Echo? I think if you're going to do that again, you might pull that on Terraform last map. Echo, I'm not as sure on. Yeah, I don't know. I think that Deer is going to open up more defensively here, and I think that he's going to play a more normal game, and I think this is going to be a much better game for him.
I hope so. Then again, if ByuL does win this, it really goes to show you how ready and set he is to be in the finals. Maybe even to win the finals. Who knows?
Dude, he absolutely could. Innovation Mario are both players that ByuL can take out.
Yeah, it is a possible thing. Anyways, our game is now loaded up. The map is Echo. Game number 5. ByuL against Deer.
시즌 3
In the upper left, in the red, he is.
삼성 갤럭시 디어.
In the bottom right, in the blue, he is.
CJ 엔투스 결.
All right. See what these guys end up going for here. Again, if ByuL wins, he is in the finals once again. Pretty insane.
And don't forget, guys, no Artosis pylons. Thank you, Poop Feast 420.
That's the worst sign I ever saw.
Poop Feast 420, one of the
Feel shame guy in the audience.
Poop Feast 420, one of the great thinkers of our time.
Truly is.
Yes.
He had great questions.
Yeah.
For those of you who are so confused, there is an old highlight video. We used to do interviews really regularly here at the GSL.
Before we all had
John
to conclude that we were always going to get trolled.
Well, the funny thing is, like, there were a lot of troll IDs, but it really started with a guy who used the ID PoopFeast420, which was just this, what a terrible ID, like, right? It's the dumbest, worst ID you could ever have. But we kept on having to ask his questions because they were actually like the best. They were like really well thought out, smart questions. The guy knew StarCraft.
Yeah.
Okay. He was truly wondering, like, some great wondering thoughts about what was going on.
Great wondering thoughts, indeed.
He had some great curiosity of what was going on, and like, so we just kept asking. I was just like, oh my god, this is crazy.
We don't know if it was like one person did it and then other people typed in that ID and then.
No, we had a login system. That was one.
Was it?
That was one account. That was the newer GOMTV. It wasn't the one that you used at Avertech Intel Classic. This was the newer one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was like this one guy, and it was really good questions. And then we got so many troll IDs. Anyways, it's a funny video on YouTube. It has a lot of views. You can find it, I'm sure.
Yep, it's out there. Cybernetics Core starting, Nexus finishing. What's so funny?
It's just a great commentary.
It is, man.
Nexus Cybernetics Core starting.
So some things are starting, other things are finishing. So
as every Nexus finishes, a new Cyber Core begins.
No, that doesn't work.
No? Okay.
It's not always true, man.
No,
every time he expands, there's a Cybernetics Core getting done.
As each Zealot is produced, a warp gate does start.
I just want to see what the tech is going to be here from Deer. I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering.
You're having wondering thoughts, maybe?
I'm having wondering thoughts, yes. Exactly.
It's like, oh no, the wall-in isn't solid. I'm like, yeah, it's a pylon only. It's like, this pylon doesn't make a tight wall-in?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't going to say anything until I saw the links get in or not get in. I was going to save my butt there.
It's so funny to see the Zealot even stand there. It's like, all right. May as well have him ready, I guess, for when you make the other buildings that finish this.
Now we actually got a layer starting up here. Ooh, nice job by the Queen gunning down Deer's probe.
Yeah. ByuL has quite liked these quick layers here today. Let's see what he wants to go for with that. Get back in the wall in. All right, now is it? There we go. Okay. Still nothing telling us what Deer is going for, but so far it looks like really normal. Like, he could make a Stargate or a third off of this, and it would be totally cool. Oh!
Oh my!
Well, he's going for
Deer
it.
is not going to play a normal game, ladies and gentlemen. This is just every Protoss weird build in the book.
Ugh. Well, I tell you what, this is serious right here. He's going into a 5-gate, it looks like, and if this works, he might have to change his name from Deer to Sincerely.
Oh wow! Yeah, because his name is spelled Deer, like Dear Diary.
Yeah. Sincerely yours. Death from the Protoss gateways.
Sick, Artosis. You're so great, man.
So great.
Uh-oh, push coming out. Overseer seeing 2 gates here. Now note that the gateways were spread out intentionally so that if the Overseer only sees part of the base,
Yeah.
Still a little bit of ambiguity as to what's going on. Boom, here comes the Warpins.
Pylon finishes, Stalkers begin.
Yeah, as the pylon finishes, the Stalkers are beginning. Yep, you got it. You're going to be a great caster by the end of today. We have the attack coming up here now. 6 Roaches. Bro started, but a long ways away.
All right, well, he has actually a really nice amount of force fields. Made these sentries early on. Going to go ahead. Look at supply capping him immediately. 9 Roaches are about to pop out.
That's pretty big, actually. 4 more Overlords are coming right now. He can actually get some more Overlords if he wants.
He's got to be careful with this Mothership Core. There's no reason to be losing this early. A little bit sloppy on that micro, but really focusing on the units more than that Mothership Core. No third base up for his opponent. And here, I want to mention that he doesn't have a low probe count. So notice right now he's making a Forge and a Robotics here. He's actually like okay to transition from here. There's no third base for ByuL. There's a healthy probe count for Deer. Everything's all right. He's forced a ton of units out of here.
Now, Burrow is finishing. And if he gets Burrow movement there, that's actually pretty crazy.
Oh, Burrow finishes here.
Look at
An
that.
Observer begins.
There you go. You got it. You got it. You're getting it down here now. Creep over here at this expansion. I would actually be very interested to see if Zerg couldn't do some kind of timing attack and hit this third base. This soon-to-be third base. It's gonna...
I'm a little bit scared for ByuL to commit to an attack here, just because like he's on 2 base, so it'd kind of be like the attack that we saw from Deer in the last game, where it's like, oh, he doesn't have anything to back this up with.
He's going to mass up Mutas.
Ooh.
He's actually, the Spire's halfway through, and he's already at 700 gas. So
yeah, that's
when the
pretty
Spire's
good.
done, he can actually just get a ton of Mutas.
And you know what? Not only does he not have Stargate, but he doesn't even have Blink on the way. He doesn't even have a Twilight Council. So
that's very true.
This
so
would turn into
no
just an all-in.
Yeah.
Like, the third base can't...
I think this is still an all-in. He's just getting 2 more gates.
Yeah, it definitely could be, I think.
He actually got rid of that Overlord to make it look like he's going to expand. He made a pylon and a cannon there, but this is a fake.
Yeah, and you know what? This is quick enough that Mutas shouldn't be able to turn the tide. In fact, if he makes Mutas, that could cost him the game.
Yeah, because it'd just be only Stalkers.
Yeah, he probably just needs to make Hydras here to try to hold on.
He should see the other gates.
Yeah, and
he saw the other 2 gates the others here.
And he starts the Hydras. So he actually is completely aware of what's going on. This is not, in fact, a third base from Deer. Some nice runaround here from ByuL, really trying to stall out Deer so that he has time to actually get his Hydras out, get some upgrades in for him as well. Force fields go down. A little bit of a whiff there.
So the Roaches are now going to try to come in here, possibly from behind. The Roaches are sort of out of position for the bunch
of
defense. Oh my god.
Really worthwhile.
They burrow underground and just like, oh!
This hurts.
The pain.
How are we supposed to reject quicker?
Hydras are out here, though. Going to be pretty good on that creep, but Deer's army's looking pretty intimidating, man. I mean,
yeah,
and more takedowns there on those Roaches. I'm a little bit worried right now for ByuL. Let's see.
He's still got an okay amount of force fields. He's running a little bit low at this point. And that concave of Hydra is really nice, but that is a lot of Stalkers right there.
Yeah.
And look, even the drones being pulled down.
Yeah, now.
ByuL knows that he's in a little bit of trouble here. And, you know, he's almost out of force fields, but losing this many drones shows the dire straits. And with a higher supply right now for Deer, it's becoming, oh man, that is a great time warp right there.
He's still kind of pushing Protoss back here.
You get some Mothership Core, which is nice as well.
The Hydras are at a very good angle here. Now we have more and more drones getting sacked just to buy time.
All right, well, he does come in with a little bit of a flank, has these Lings in front. Doesn't even have speed on them, unfortunately. Does have that Hydra range, which is pretty important. Maybe you can get a concave here at the top of this ramp. But more and more Stalkers coming in.
Yeah, got to be careful not to overextend. Also, Deer doing a good job taking out some of these creep tumors. Not sure the creep's going to dissipate fast enough for that to save his ass. But also, Protoss is getting a third base behind this. So
yeah, he's preparing for this being completely held. And that does look like what's going to be more and more and more. Without any sentries here, it's just hard to actually control this battle.
Look at this. He's just cutting down that Immortal. Really nice stuff. Oh, here comes some more sentries out of nowhere.
All right, some very nice force fields coming down. Letting him pick off quite a few. Oh, that's a really nice one right there. 2 Hydras for a force field. Going to go ahead and push him back. The creep did dissipate quite a bit, so he catches 2 Queens. Otherwise, may not have gotten those. And this is really very tough for ByuL. You know, he's down to just 28 drones right now. He's got 15 Hydras only against 20 Stalkers plus 5 Sentries and 5 Zealots. Not something that you're too likely to hold here. And on top of all that, the fact that Deer's getting that 3rd base, he does have a healthy probe count. It's tough. You know, he had the right idea. If Deer had made that 3rd base, you're right. I think he would have gone right into mutas and had a good time, but...
It's kind of a funny game here. Zerg's actually so down on drones that Deer can sort of just keep doing this. I guess, you know, ByuL had to lose that... had to lose those drones to hold the attack, but the byproduct of that, or I guess you could even say the aftermath. Oh man, look at those Hydras having a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Deer just comes in here and kills him.
Yeah, gonna go ahead, take the concave on the top of the ramp. It looks like. In fact, he might go all the way into the main.
Yeah, that's what
Not
you
even
want to
any drones
because
to
he
mess
has
with
one
him.
force field remaining.
Huh. All right, well that's a great move.
GG.
Yeah, that
ByuL
was
not happy about that one.
well done there by Deer. Actually, that massive gateway attack. And, well, now it looks like it's going to be 3-2. Again, Deer still has a chance, but not playing more normal. I thought that we might see some more normal play, but this guy is like, it's like he brought 7 different builds today.
Look at you. Look at you.
We don't know yet. I mean, there's only been 5 games. We've seen 5 different builds.
Ever. I think you're right, though. I think he will actually just keep doing weird builds like this. I think the only way that we can see ByuL hold this is to play so normal and keep scouting and just assume that the game is never going to be normal. If you're always just preparing for rushes, timing stuff, it's a lot easier to hold. I mean, I got to say, Deer even fooled you and me. We saw that pylon in the cannon making. Yeah. Hell, I thought he was going to expand.
He would have been all right to do it. Well, except for there was a Spire on the way, but I mean, he had a good probe count and everything. But it was a good call. It was a good call.
Next map, Artosis, is Bonnie Research Station.
Yeah. That is the freest couple of bases that you're likely to get. But this can be a very good map for taking gold bases. I'd love to see ByuL pull that out. A lot of the maps nowadays are made with the gold bases more easy to attack than on here. This is true. This is one of those maps where, like, if the Zerg takes the gold, you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty far away. I guess I'll make 2 oracles and try to kill the drones at it. You know, there's not like a whole lot of great options. So, interested to see what ByuL's take is on this map rather than Deer's.
Then again, you know, ByuL does something weird and Deer shuts it down. Definitely Deer prepared for the weird games today, so he might be in his element if ByuL does do something crazy like try to take a gold. But anyways, like I was saying, if Deer does actually shut down this game, we are very close.
Well, I mean, if he shuts down this game, he may as well change his ID from Deer to Sincerely to XOXO.
To hugs and kisses. Yeah, that would bring us to last game here today. This has been a fast-moving day, Artosis.
Yeah, really fast and furious games. Nothing long, no maxed out armies.
Nope.
None of that great Artosis stuff that we love so much.
No, it's all tasteless builds here.
Yeah.
It's all centered around the Artosis builds and how to exploit them.
Let's go. You want to macro? You want to play a long game? No.
I win. Or, I thought I was going to win, but then I lost.
All right. It is map number 6 coming up here.
That's right. Map 6 it is.
Guys, let your friends know. No one knows that GSL's on this Thursday.
This is our secret, guys.
Yeah, this is a secret cast just for you guys.
This is the VIP cast, guys. You guys are the VIPs here.
Yeah, you guys watching. You're the only ones we want watching. Don't tell your friends.
Don't tell your friends. Yeah. In fact, they tune in, tell them to get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is a weird map. Anything can happen. And with these 2 players, the way these games have gone, expect everything to happen, man. These guys are really pulling out the weird strats, man. One of the weirder bestest sevens I've ever seen. Anyways, this is game number 6, Bonnie Research Station, ByuL against Deer. In the bottom center in the red, he is
삼성 갤럭시 디어.
in the top center in the blue.
CJ 엔투스 별.
And he is here to show us he can move on to the finals. That would be the third finals in a row for StarCraft II Korean finals. By the way, Deer did win a GSL in the early days of HOTS.
A WCS as well, and that's when we had the season finals, which we actually don't have anymore. But it was definitely quite a big win.
Some support here from Sabi. Good luck, have fun to both of you. I'm sure she was talking about us in our cast.
Yeah,
thank
certainly.
you. I think the cast will go fine. Thanks.
Yeah, we've been very lucky so far in this cast, so thank you very much.
And we have a probe looping around. Now you got to check for everything here on this map. And so far, no gold base taken right away. It is a normal-looking opener here for ByuL.
Yeah, he is. And notice that he is checking specifically for the gold bases, because this is something ByuL has done in the past, and it is something, like I was talking about, is very hard for this map. So I actually really appreciate the fact that he checked that right off the bat, because that's an easy way to just lose, where you're like, well, I guess you just have more units for the whole game. That's fun. Cool.
That's something to deal with.
Neato. All right, so you'll get a full scout off with this, but you know what? This is actually a really nice opening for Deer to have your opponent not taking the gold bases that you're afraid of. It is a very greedy build by ByuL, though. Maybe realizing that Deer would open up with early scout and whatnot. Well.
Hey, Artosis.
Hey, Tasis.
How's it going, buddy? We're back at the GSL. We're back at the home base here.
Indeed.
HQ of
so
esports.
Happy to be home, man. Like I love getting home.
We were out of town for 2 weeks, guys. We were doing the WCS Premier League finals in Poland and Krakow.
Yeah.
And then we went to Las Vegas to host Heroes of the Storm. I don't know why I all of a sudden can't think of the name of the tournament that I hosted. What was the name of that tournament, Artosis?
America's Championship.
The America's Championship. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Don't worry, guys. We only casted StarCraft heroes there.
Yeah, that's right. We would only do play-by-play if it was like Zeratul or Nova, so don't be upset.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But, all right. Here we are, and time to see what Deer wants to go for. I was very interested to see if ByuL would take a gold base. He didn't, so now we wait to see what tech line that Deer wants to go down. But this is definitely likely to turn into a macro game, I would say. Especially since he already saw the double hatch before pull. If he tries to pull some sort of quick timing attack, with the map being this long and the fact that ByuL did such a greedy opening, I just can't foresee it working. So
I'm kind of weirded out that ByuL didn't go for the gold base build in this map. You know?
Huh.
I think it's so strong on this map.
I think he might just be out of practice on it, because gold base builds were really good for a long time. In fact, they were pretty much broken for quite a while.
I remember.
But Vani gets banned a hell of a lot nowadays, and some of the other maps that have gold bases on it, it's a lot harder. Like they've done a lot better designing where gold bases can go to make it so it's very hard for Zerg to just abuse by taking it right off the bat. So I'm not surprised that much. I'm a little bit surprised, though, because it is so good. But yeah.
I was like 100% sure he was going to do that. So we have 3 gates into a Stargate here. Now it was the 2 additional gates, then the Stargate.
Yep. Kind of interesting. See if you put some pressure on with this. Does have that probe up here. If your opponent does go for very late Zergling speed, putting on some pressure with Stalkers can be amazing, especially if you're going Oracle with it. And he's actually going to scout the extra gates. The extra gates are actually more important to scout than the Stargate almost.
Very true.
I guess all of it is quite important to scout.
Well, seeing the whole picture together, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
We got, what, 16 Lings here. Ling speed coming. A Roach Warren being made. So it looks like he should be in good shape. There is an Oracle making. That's going to melt Lings pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But Queens can hit air, guys.
That is true.
Don't forget.
Queens can hit air.
That's why I'm up here casting, guys, because I know Queens can hit air. If you have any other questions in depth, let me know.
You're basically Liquipedia, is what you are.
I'm Liquipedia if that got a brain and was talking. That's what I am here.
That's,
Yep.
All right. Well, does kind of just stomp this down thanks to that wonderful Zergling getting in. Really important. So, I mean, that stomps his idea of what he wanted to do for pressure, but that doesn't really get him too far behind. Like, he's got the 3 gates, so he can make enough units so that these lings that were just made won't cancel this base, which is important. So the game is, like, kind of normalized, basically. Obviously, Deer could have gotten a big advantage off of that, but it's not like he's at a big disadvantage right now.
Look at you. Best caster in the world.
Oh, thanks, Stasis.
We got 2 oracles coming up here. How was that for casting? Was that pretty good?
That was amazing. And look at that. It's a hallucinating Phoenix. What else do you see on this screen?
Oh, there's creep on the ground. Oh, look, here's an attack.
Oh, my God.
Oracle is going to come up here. Good job with the Spore Crawler. Not doing the damage you would want to do.
Oh, look
nice
at this with the
timing
repositioning actually coming back in.
Yeah, shoots right in there. That other Oracle, very low on HP, but does still survive.
I like the double Spore, by the way, because the 2 Oracle is kind of a counter to 1 Spore, because you can still get in there and kill a lot of drones, so the double Spore is really neat. Anyways, the Oracle's going to fly over and see what else they can find here for damage. In the meantime, we have a very quick Infestation Pit, along with that Spire.
Uh-oh, coming in here now. Doing a little bit more damage, taking a few more drones. See 4 kills right here.
Well, looks like just normal tech coming out of Deer. ByuL, not fully committing anything. It's looking like he wants to go mutas, because he does have the Infestation Pit, but hasn't started a hive, hasn't decided to go for pathogen glands or anything like that, so could be saving up for some mutts.
He's really liked his mutas, man. He's really been on that this whole series.
Well, they are a fantastic unit, and these bases are really well spread out. It's kind of like, and I mean, obviously you can chase on those oracles as well with them, but just with how spread out the bases are, it can be very hard to defend against them. But with already a Stargate up and now a second one started immediately as those mutas are starting, I think Deer's going to be completely fine here, man. I'm really liking everything about how this is going for him. Yeah, he's even getting the Templar Archives. It's going to really prepare him for any sort of tech switches. Like, he'll have the feedback, he'll have the Psy Storm. Everything's looking pretty good for Deer.
Well, here come the mutas now. They're going to go ahead and chase out these probes. And unfortunately, the mutas can actually get over the starport right now. Stargate, excuse me. So it's a little bit of a nuisance, but with the Stalkers coming up here and the 2 Phoenixes already out, he is going to be able to drive these mutas back out.
Yeah, and
sometimes you can lose a game if the mutas get there and there's only 1 Phoenix out. They can just kill the the Phoenixes right as they pop out, so that's very frustrating.
Yeah,
but
the critical mass, that definitely can occur with. But I don't think that we'll see any more mutas out of him. He's seen the 2 Stargates. In fact,
huge mistake if he did any more.
Yeah.
In fact, it looks like ByuL's shifting gear going into all ground.
Yeah, this is really good, going for the pathogen glands. You know, if he just goes Ling Infestor Ultra, that'll basically hold him against everything for a very long time. And this is finally, I think, going to be that big macro game that I was actually hoping most of the games tonight would be.
Yeah, we might actually have a normal game, guys.
Well, looks like the Oracle's continuing to scout here. That 4th base is up.
Now, that is definitely going to be the point of contention there, since that's the closest to Protoss, the most accessible for an attack. Looks like he did use the mutas to draw back the Phoenixes. That will be the end of the mutas from this story.
Yeah. Well, he got 8 probes with them, actually. That
actually did a lot.
Yeah, it's considering how worthless they became with that many Phoenixes out, it was totally all right.
Now, with this many Lings, and the Archons here, and the number of force fields available, this will be pretty huge. But chain fungling,
yeah, he's going to probably have to recall here. Well, not necessarily if he just backs up from here, but if the chain fungals start, that's when you actually have to have recall ready. Recall is like one of the best things Protoss has against chain fungal.
It's one of the only things Protoss has against chain fungal, too.
That and feedback.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Oh, good tag there.
Yeah, another... oh, he actually uses a time warp here. Chain fungals are coming down. A lot of damage put on his units, but not the popping distance yet.
Yeah, Deer just keeping the proper distance and continuously reconfiguring the setup of his army. Look at this. He's going to get his base. We might actually go in our final game. Cool.
Looks like he is going to be able to pick off this 4th base. And
I think he can even go further than that, actually.
ByuL not dead quite yet. He still has those 3 bases, but 3 base against 3 base, not somewhere you want to find yourself. Don't forget, there is no Psy Storm, and he actually doesn't have any Immortals. So, I mean, if we get into this Ultralisk tech, maybe with a favorable engagement, some good fungals and whatnot, something can happen here, but looks like he's going to push forward here. Really, ByuL is not ready yet. Throwing out a bunch of infested Terrans. I don't think that's going to be enough, though.
Now, as we see this game going forward here, Zerg in a little bit of a tough spot. That is not a comfortable position to attack into, with the Stalkers having that superior range. The force fields just keeping a lot of those roaches back here. I believe this game is actually over. I think that's actually GG.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's way too much damage. You see the drones coming out here once again. There's no energy on these infestors, and this should just be it.
Game
5 roaches
7
coming out, not enough.
GG, cool.
Wow.
Deer is bringing this to the final match. Sick. I didn't think we were actually going to get into the final match. I thought it was going to be like a 4-1 with ByuL the way things were going today, but this is great news. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Luckily for Deer, you know, these the later maps are actually doing fine for him right now. That's an important thing to take into consideration. What the map orders are, like where he's expected to lose, and where he gains a little bit of power back in the PvZ matchup. But
I got to be a little bit critical of ByuL here. I thought we were going to see some gold-based builds.
Yeah, I think a gold-based build there is probably a smart thing to do on that map, generally speaking, but we saw that Deer was hyper ready for that. That's how obvious it was. Like
True.
You and I were both thinking it, Deer was thinking it. Maybe ByuL was like, you know what, this is almost too obvious. He should have something prepared for a gold-based build
ByuL was
here.
like, I'm thinking everybody else is thinking of it.
Yeah. So
and that's why I got to not do it.
Yeah, and you know what, sometimes that's a really smart move.
Very important conversation we're seeing here on camera, by the way. The last game, Deer getting any final advice he can from Stork before going to that critical Game 7 match. Either of these guys could go on. I think it's great. No matter who moves on, it would be ByuL's third Korean StarCraft II finals in a row. Maybe he would win that finals. Deer already won a GSL Code S, and then, I don't want to say faded to obscurity because he didn't, but never had that level of success in GSL. So that would be great to see him in the finals, too.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of like feeling ByuL a little bit more for excitement for me personally. I think they're both fantastic going to that finals, though, as you say. But I want to see, like, if there's ever going to be another Sue. You know, someone that just can't win in the finals.
It could happen, man. We could get that.
I mean, I guess Sue has a championship now, but it wasn't,
Don't
ruin
the moment.
I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, you know, we'll just change the rules. They did it. We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll be going to our final game, game number 7 here in day 1 of the semifinals for the GSL Code S.
Wow.